I've seen your audience grow here in the United States. I've also seen how your music has been somewhat described differently by whoever listens to the album here in the United States. There's some people that fixate just on the heaviness. There's some people that try to classify it as drone. Personally, for me, I hate labels. One of the things that I've always admired and I've always liked about your music, and I'm wondering if this will continue, is the fact that even though, as you mentioned, you keep it simple, it really does take you on a whole other journey of amplification. Talk to me about that.
Okay, well, obviously we like to play through like big live rigs.
Yeah, but you do it organically though. You're not like, for instance, there's bands that are trying to do that. You do it naturally.
Okay. I mean, we're lucky over here because we've got some good backline with us, with the guys in North. Well, yeah, we from the very beginning we've always been like about just playing simple music, but playing it as loud as we can. But believe it or not, there are bands who play louder than us. You know, we're more about like how the song sounds as a whole. You know, just being loud doesn't make it heavy, and sort of like certain chords played certain ways. You know, that I think we're trying to use the interplay between the guitar and the drums, the bass and the drums. You know, Chris's vocals and my vocals, all of those things combined, I think, make it sound the way it does. But yeah, we like to go on a journey with our music. You know, that's what it was all about at the very beginning. You know, it was all about just losing yourself in like a long, like Krull, for example, one of the first songs we wrote. That was all about just being like a long, slow song, just like worshipping the sound of the distorted amplifier, you know. And that's kind of what we still are about now. There's a bit more meat on the bones of it now. You know, we've got a bit more experience. We've recorded a lot more, and we now are more aware of what sounds good and what works and what doesn't. So I think we're just kind of getting better at what we do, maybe. And you know, hopefully that comes across as us being like natural and comfortable on stage.
It does very well. It does so well that I'm always amazed when I listen to the albums, because the albums have that live feel as well.
That's down to Chris. You know, Chris has been our producer since day one, and he's a really, really fantastic producer. And he's a producer for other bands as well. You know, bands bigger than Conan. You know, and I'm very privileged to work with him. And it's awesome that he's in the band, because you know he brings his experience to our songwriting process right from the very beginning.
Yeah, hands on, literally.
Yeah, totally. You know, and excited to see how the new album sounds right there with him.
What can you tell us about the new album? I know you don't want to give away too much, but what can you tell us as far as like little tease here?
Well, probably going to be around about the same length as Revengeance, maybe a minute or two less. 6 or 7 songs. I think that'll be the norm for us now. There'll be no acoustic guitar on it. There'll be no chanting. There'll be nothing about sex on there or politics. It'll be good classic Conan material, delivered in an interesting way, hopefully.
A nice heaviness to purge the bullshit.
Yeah, of course. This might be the first album that I use a solid state amplifier on in the recording process. I've not done that before. So, yeah, it's going to be cool. Just got to get writing.
This is for all the guitar fucking nerds. They want to know, what do you prefer amplification-wise, and what do you play out of?
In the UK, I use Matamp amplifiers exclusively. Not because I'm restricted to them in any contractual way, but that's what I prefer. I like how they sound. You can blame Matt Pike for that, because the first time I ever discovered High on Fire, on their website they had like Matamp full stacks with the green Tolex, and that's exactly what I've got now. And I've been around the houses a few times. I've used some Model T, I've used Marshall JCM 800s, I've used Orange amplifiers, which in themselves, the older ones, sound just like Matamps anyway. But I've always come back to Matamp. So now I've got, you know, 2 Matamp full stacks, 2 Slave amplifiers and 2 GT120s, which for me is my dream setup.
Really?
Yeah, dream setup. Over in America, I've just bought a solid state amplifier, which is it's a clone of the Sun PB10 preamp. It's actually by a guy called Nathan Hilbish, and it's a preamp. You have to buy a separate power amp, and a flight case, and that'll run 4 cabs on its own, and it weighs less than my guitar, so I can carry it on the plane, or I can put it in the hold, and hopefully it'll survive the journey. So yeah, over here at the moment it's Sun, well not Sun, Hilbish. So I've got that solid state sound. I've not plugged into it yet. I just hope it works when we come to do our line check soon. But yeah, in England it's all about mat amp, valve amplifiers. I'm speaking to them at the minute about getting a GT120 preamp done, which can be rack mountable, so I can put it inside the same flight case as my the Sun, the Hilbish amplifier that I've got, and we can also use it in the studio. Then maybe put it in one of the rack bays in the studio. I think people might quite like that.
Do you like that blank stare I have on my face? I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was just looking. Yeah, I was waiting for you to chime in then with some like.
I wish I knew how to play guitar. I'd probably get laid.
So do I actually. Wish I could do it too.
Conan is on tour here in the United States. Make sure you go check them out. Let me just say this. For those of you that have not experienced the Conan live experience, there are no words other than truly heavy. I used the comparison of Cream. I noticed you cringed a little bit, but what I say is this. There has never been a band that has really shown the true traits of rock and roll and heaviness organically and genuinely than these gentlemen here. Everybody talks about Liverpool and the Beatles.
Yep.
Fucking Conan, man. The real deal. The real deal. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you. Cheers, Jimmy. Thanks a lot.
We're out.